I'm sure somebody would want to ask this. So what if a kid doesn't want to listen to what you're teaching right now? Like, how do you do it? So say somebody's leaving their room a mess, and we're correcting them, we're telling them what we expect, but then they still do it. How do you handle that?
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. All right, everybody. Hello. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Sitting here with my beautiful bride. It is a wonderful afternoon, beautiful, sunny. We've been running around getting stuff done. Just came off a fun trip to visit some of our friends up in Washington State, which was great. And how are you doing today, my dear?
I'm doing great. I had an opportunity to go take a walk with one of my dear friends, our pastor. So that was really, really cool. And it was neat because it's so pretty out. It was so pretty. We went on this walk. It's called the Green Belt. And all it is people out there running, walking, riding bikes, riding scooters, playing in the water. Like, it's just really, really pretty out today.
Summertime.
Yes.
Everybody's out there just doing it up and having fun, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So got some fun stuff to talk about today. Excited about jumping into some of these conversations with you. You and I have been kind of dabbling around these conversations for a bit. We had a 6-hour car drive up and 6-hour car drive back. And plus, we had some hangout time and some downtime. So we've been talking it up. We should have just hooked up the microphones then.
I know. We often talk about how I wish there was some way to do it in the car. I don't know if it would be too loud or whatever.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
But sometimes it'd be really great because some of our great conversations are in the car.
That's true.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little video car time with Greg and Jacquie or something.
Yeah, it'd be fun because we have some good conversations there.
I have a question for you though before we start. What did the one ocean say to the other ocean?
You're rolling fast.
It said nothing. It just waved.
I'm trying. I am trying here.
That's pretty funny, and you know it. Do you want to hear a construction joke?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm still working on it.
Oh, man. You've been saving up.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, you know what we want to talk about is just from some of our experiences lately about all the different moving parts in our life with our multiple children in multiple endeavors, in multiple sports, in multiple things we're working on, etc. That let's talk about being a team. I feel like that's been coming up quite a bit. It's one thing that I hear a lot of people actually make comments on. Is like, wow, how do you get your family to work together so well? And wait a minute, you guys all help each other with this stuff? And wait, your kids help take care of that, not just you guys. We hear these comments quite a bit. So do you want to kick us off, starting that on that topic, babe? Yeah,
I mean, we've just had a lot going on, just like everybody else. And I just think it backs up to what we always say is that, as a family, we're going to be a team together. We're going to work on things together. We're going to do the things that most people aren't willing to do or don't want to do, even though it'd be really easy to kind of sneak out of it and not do them sometimes. Mm-hmm. So typically in our house, we have a lot of moving parts. Like there are plates spinning every which way. Several of them, we don't even know where they're spinning off to sometimes. And so with that, we try to make sure that our family has an opportunity to know what's going on a regular basis and what we need help with. I feel like prep work is the best thing we do on the front end to make sure that we can work as a team. It's hard to expect anyone in your family to work as a team if they don't know what it looks like to be a team player or what is asked of them to be the team player. So that's what I feel like we do really well up front. We discuss a lot of it up front.
We do. You and I feel like you and I, we have our own personal mini team meetings almost daily with all of our moving parts, and sometimes it's just like today. I mean, you're off somewhere I'm off doing my stuff too, and we're just calling each other. It's like, do you have a minute to talk? And one point I was like, actually, I don't right now. Let's talk a little bit. And then we talk again, and it's like, okay, we got this little thing. What do you think about this? Or hey, we got some stuff coming up, and hey, what about this week? We got X, Y, Z we got to do. And you and I are always talking these things through, so you and I get on the same page. I know tonight we even talked about we're going to be doing a team meeting with our family, which will help get them all on the same page for the week at least. And then also you and I are going to do some more calendar planning at night, because we're literally, I mean, at some point maybe we could even give it as a gift to some of our audience what it looks like for us to plan out 12 months. I feel like having a process you go through to be able to look 12 months in advance, put the biggest things on the calendar that can't be moved, filling in with the most important things that you prioritize in your life around that, and then also choosing other stuff and seeing how it actually fits. And then you have this whole plan of the year that you can look forward to, you can talk about, you can prepare for. We do that pretty well. And, there's like the big scale of it. Like I said, we're evaluating the big 12-month calendar. I mean, we already have, here we are in June of 2024. We already have our 2025 calendar up, and we're starting to work on that now for next year. But it's fun, and then we get to break it down on a week by week basis. And then after we're on the same page about all this stuff, now we have a plan. We know what kind of sports the kids can be in that fit into everything, the big picture of everything. We know how much it's going to take to take everybody where they need to go and be at everything they need to be at. And so we are. Some people might say that we're like very detailed, but really what we are is we're just organized. And we're organized because our philosophy, part of our philosophy of our family, is that we want to squeeze every bit of life out of every season in a positive way. We learned our balance of what it means to replenish, learn what it means to stretch ourselves. And now it's just kind of execution of it all. And so, so I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent here with this, but it's important. We're talking about being a team, and a big part of being a team is you and me being on the same page, then breaking it down into small components of being on the same page, and then starting to process it with our kids, and tonight's going to be a perfect example of that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think just to add to that, so some of the examples, because I'm sure people are like, so what are some of the things that you help your kids, how to help them be a team player? What are some of those things? Like if we talk about some examples, and I mean, there's so many that I can think of, but just off the top of our head, definitely what it looks like to help around the house. We believe that it's all of our home and that we're all going to help. And so it's not just left up to like mom to take care of everything at the end of the day or during the day. We have not only chores for the kids that we don't pay them for because you live in the house, so you don't get paid to do what we all need to get done.
For sure.
But we have chores, and then we have projects, kind of like different things. There's the everyday keeping the house at a standard that we all like to have it, which for us is a high standard. We like to have our house cleaned up and looking nice and excellence. We just feel like that's how we honor each other and we honor God with what he's gifted us with. So keeping our house at a standard that is high.
And it's part of our family constitution, right?
That's right.
I just pulled it up in front of us here. For those of you guys that understand, every week when we do a team meeting, a family team meeting, we have a family placemat. You can go to our website, redwoodparenting.com, and just download a free version of it so you can see all this. But we all read these every single week, and we all recognize each other for who's doing these things well. And it just constantly reinforces some of the critical standards that our family lives by and that we have to live up to. And so, like, one of them is our family constitution. And it's written like this: we, the people of the Francis family, do dedicate our family to the task of enriching others' lives. We, the people of the Francis family, in order to form a more perfect union, do establish these two basic principles based on God's living word. Number one, love and honor our Creator. Number two, love and respect others. We also hereby establish 6 family guidelines from these above 2 principles. We honor mom and dad by obeying them fully and joyfully. What a big one, right? We honor our we honor our possessions and others by taking great care of them and putting our things away properly after we have used them. They are all God's, not ours, okay? We honor our commitment to our family by performing all chores responsibly and timely with excellence. We honor friends and family by having good manners and exercising responsibility towards others. We manage ourselves powerfully in all situations. We honor all of God's creation, people, and things. They are all His, not ours. We live life to the fullest. We take positive, calculated, kingdom-guided chances with people and things, and we don't play small. And finally, we never gossip, murmur, or complain. We only speak words that give life to our future and the futures of others. Wow. This is like kind of all this stuff encompasses what we want to talk about, isn't it?
Correct.
Right? Almost in all of these different things. So, so when you were saying doing chores around the house with excellence, see, in our family constitution, it's that we actually honor things, right? I mean, we have a philosophy in our household that everything in our house, like our house, our vehicles, all of it, it's actually not ours, it's God's. And so we're stewards of it, but we're not necessarily quote unquote owners of it. And so how do we stewards? It's different when you own something. It's like, some people use the example, well, when you own the car, you take better care of it. When you get the rental car, you just kind of drive it like whatever. Well, I'll tell you, like, if the person who owns the rental car company is God, then I'm going to make darn sure I take great care of that rental car, and we kind of look at almost everything that we have as something that we're just renting. We're not owning. It's all God's. We're stewards. So on us, and we teach this to our kids, it's important that we treat it the way that we know that the owner / God would want it treated. So our home needs to be in a good state, right? Doesn't mean it never gets messy. Doesn't mean it doesn't, get used. It just means that we always go back to that foundation, right?
Right. And I think because of that, then the expectation is that we're going to honor the place where we live and honor each other. So we're going to be team players in that. We're going to make sure that, if people are not picking up after themselves or cleaning up their messes or, putting things away properly or leaving things out for others to take care of, assuming that, somebody else will deal with it, we're going to address that. Because being a team player in our family is we all work together to take care of what matters most to us.
Yep.
And our home is one of the things that matters most to us.
Yep.
Another thing is that, right now we're working on this whole garden in our backyard. And
Well, let me hold you up for a minute, because I'm sure somebody would want to ask this. So what if a kid doesn't want to listen to what you're teaching right now? Like, how do you do it? So say somebody's just leaving their room a mess. Sorry, I don't know. It's still kind of early. It feels like leaving their room a mess, and we're correcting them. We're telling them what we expect, but then they still do it. How do you handle that?
I mean, for us, there's a couple different things, especially as they are getting older and there's more discussions than when they were younger. But I mean, typically, if I ask more than once or twice, I know that person needs to have a bigger discussion going on. If I need to keep asking the same child to help pick up, do whatever is asked of them, I know for us and our family, it typically is, I'm not going to argue about this anymore. I'm going to talk with you about it, or vice versa. If you're asking in the same times, you'll talk to me about it. You and I, again, come together and have our own mini team meeting. We discuss what's really going on here.
Yep.
Because maybe one of us has insight that the other doesn't know.
That's
maybe
right.
one of us has talked about something with this kid already. Maybe we've forgotten a conversation we had with them.
Or maybe you said, Drews, clean your room before I get home. And then I walked in 5 minutes later not knowing that and said, hey, Drews, I need your help in the yard.
And there's
like we want to make sure that we
going
don't
on.
we kind of make sure that that's not happening. Right.
Because we don't want to correct our kids or really get on them if there was confusion.
Yeah.
If
Because we've done it.
quite a few times. I mean,
yeah.
it happens quite a bit. And they have to come back and be like, so which one do you want me to do first?
Yeah.
And if they don't ask quick enough, all of a sudden they're off helping in your way and not my way, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So typically we get on the same page, and make sure that we're not missing something. And then after that, you and I typically come up with a solution on having a conversation with the person. We're going to discuss it with our child, what's going on, because we want to hear their perspective, why they think it's okay
And
to
that's
not
usually
live
a
up
question that
to
we have,
our
right?
family standards.
How many times have we had like a Saturday morning, we're having a cup of coffee, looking out the lake when we lived there, or even
Out
out
at
here.
the mountains.
Yeah, even here we're doing our thing and we're kind of having a slow morning, but we have these conversations between you and I, and we're like, okay, so-and-so, whatever kid, hey, we want to talk to you for a minute. So they come in by themselves, and they know that typically means, that, okay, we're gonna talk
discuss
something through.
something.
In other
Yeah.
words, we the best definition of integrity I've ever heard is the willingness to face into things without delay.
Yes.
And so we're going to face into it, and they don't get to just pretend like it didn't happen. Or we're not going to walk around just mad at them quietly or punish them through lack of relationship, like many of us went through as kids from our parents, because that's what they knew. And so we're going to talk about it. And you're right. We usually start with, hey, you've been corrected about this once or twice now.
And we've noticed.
But we want to hear, why do you think
That's right.
that it's okay? I want to hear from you directly why you think that it's okay. And if they say it's not, then we're like, that's not good enough.
Right. Now, normally we press in and we're like, that's not going to work today.
Yep.
In fact, it's never going to work. So we'd like to understand
Yep.
from your perspective why you think it's okay after a couple conversations with either your dad or your mom to do certain things that you just ignore that and think it's okay.
That's right. I mean, they have to communicate it. Like, we don't let them off the hook
Right.
at all. They have to try to explain it. And it makes them really think about it. You know, it makes them really compare it to the standards that we talk about every single week. It makes them have to either decide, am I going to come up with an excuse that isn't real, but mom and dad are going to totally read my mail and not let me, actually get away with that? Or am I just going to get honest and just say, you know what, it's not right. I think I was just being lazy. I just didn't want to. A lot of times, most of the conversations are like, I really just didn't feel like doing it.
Right. I had other things going on and I just didn't feel like it and I just forgot about it. And then I got a better opportunity to do blank. And so I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, that's being honest, but that's not who you are. You're not a lazy person. And we remind them of who they are.
Yep.
And again, this is all conversations that take time. So I will just tell you, many times people ask us these same questions that we're going over with today, but it's because we press in and have the conversations when none of us really want to. Like, I don't really feel like waking up on Saturday and having a 30-minute conversation with my child about why they didn't clean their room, when really I could just discipline them and move on with life. That would be a lot shorter, but we take the time because we're trying to teach them and train them up. And I think when we do that effectively, then they see it and God sees it and the blessings can come. And so when those conversations happen for us and we actually hear from our child, we tell them that's not who you are. You are not a lazy person. We do not behave in lazy ways here. So because of that, typically because of their actions, there's going to be a reaction from us. So it could be you're going to go clean your room, but then you're also going to help with blank, blank, blank today. And you're probably going to miss out on something else because this needs to get done.
Yeah. Let's continue to the next one. This is a good topic.
Okay.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.